All righty, back here on the hilltop, the starting quintet for LCA being introduced right now, and after that, Harrison County's obviously will be introduced as well in front of what's a pretty good crowd on hand for tonight's game, including Mike Meyer, star of the bottom line. Come and join us for a little talking to tonight.
I'll tell you what, it's been a good time coming out and seeing Thoroughbreds play, and join you a little bit, Jim. See you on the opposite side of a Saturday for once.
Right.
How about that?
First time this year you've seen the Breds play?
This is actually, I watched them a few times up at the tournament.
Yeah, sure.
Tournament, and then once other up here on the hilltop. It certainly is. I know they're excited to get Caden back the last few games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't replace 28 points a game.
Yeah, that's tough. But I'll tell you one thing: it brings a different demeanor to the team. And seeing some of those other top teams in the state play at the Christmas tournament, he's right there with some of the best players in the state, no question.
Yeah. Well, he's played with a lot of those players, including Travis Perry, through summer ball.
Yeah.
So I guess it's one of those elite things on those travel teams where all the good players know each other.
Know each other and play and maybe get some hints from each other. But, no, I know certainly, as you mentioned there, 27 points a game, a little over 27 points a game, and certainly the key. It takes the pressure off the rest of the guys. Elijah doesn't have to do so much. Just kind of go with the flow of the offense and see what the game brings you. So excited to see him play tonight.
You got to consider that he was a starting point guard when he was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So that's 3.5 years, and all of a sudden he's not there. Made a big difference.
It does.
All righty, jumping center for the LCA Eagles will be Peyton Mahorn. On the opposite side of the midcourt stripe, Caden Custard. Kind of giving a laugh as he looks at the 6'8 Mahorn. As we're about to get this game underway, the 5-10 Thoroughbreds against the 8-7 LCA Eagles. Here on a somewhat warmer night than what we've had the last week or so. It's nice to get back closer to spring. All right. I think we're ready to go now. Whistle is blown. Tap is up and controlled by Harrison County. Good job, Caden. Harris gets the ball down low to Wilson, has the shot blocked, and Mahorn gets the rebound. Heading the other way quickly is Mahorn, and he slides that pivot foot on the baseline. So both teams empty on their first trips down the floor. Good to see Ray Graham and Patsy here tonight, along with Savannah. Of course, Ray Graham recently resigned as the Harrison County High School football coach, in case you had not heard. But good to see him here. All righty, Harrison County with the basketball. Custer to the left side to Smiley. Gets it in between the circles to Elijah. Harris back over to the far sideline to Smiley. In the corner, he'll find Wilson back on the wing to Smiley once again. Wilson looks inside, nothing there. He'll get it back up top to Smiley. Good patience being shown by the Breds. Here's a pass from Boyers. Down low to Wilson, who lays it up and in. Nice pass that time by Boyers, as Harrison County takes the early 2-0 lead. With the basketball in the front court are the Eagles. On the left side is Preston. Goes into the paint, drops it down to Mahorn. He can't handle it, and the loose ball picked up by the Thoroughbreds. Smiley at the top of the key, lobs the ball on the near side to Harris long range. Now back up top and in between the circles to Smiley to the far hash mark. He finds Custard. Custard to Wilson. Wilson drives baseline, tries to dish it off, but too much traffic, and the loose ball is picked up by LCA. In the front court, right side three-point try is going to be a little short. Rebound being batted around, and finally coming up with it is King. King gets it down on the block to Cummins. Cummins between a triple team, forces up a shot, and it's good. Strength being shown that time by Cummins. Ties the score at 2-2. 6:29 left to go in the first quarter. Harrison with the basketball, gets to the top of the key to Custard. Custard in the corner finds Smiley for a three. Count it down. Our first Canuck three of the game is scored by Smiley off of the assist from Custard, and Harrison County up 5-2. Simon King makes a shot to a three-pointer, in fact, to get us tied once again at 5-5. Harrison County with the basketball. 5:53 on the clock here in the first quarter. Custard to Wilson in the corner. Wilson up top to Harris for a little long three. A little short. Rebound's going to be on the ground and will slide over to Colton Cummins, who just happened to be where the ball was at. In the front court, right side three, fired up, no good. And the rebound is going to be picked up by Custard. Come up the floor, a collision as Wilson runs into a couple of LCA Eagles. Both Preston as well as Howard end up on the floor. It'll be the LCA Eagles basketball after that turnover. From his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be King. 5:28 on the clock. Well, the clock disappeared. I shouldn't have said anything about the clock. There we go. A little bit of a short on there. Probably these shirts, the Ma'ato shirt. All right, now we're ready. Here's a pass down low, put up and in by Howard. That will give the lead to LCA. Their first lead of the ball game with 5:12 left in the first quarter. Now Garrett tries a pass to Custer, and he's going to be slapped hard. That foul is going to be on Mahorn. Mahorn's first, the team's first as well. From the far hash mark on the opposite side of the basket, or the floor from where we are sitting, Smiley will inbounds it. Gets it to Custard, who surveys the LCA defense before stepping inside the center circle. Now gets it to Wilson, who will hand it off on the wing to Smiley. Back to Custard on the far sideline. Caden lobs the ball to Smiley on this side. Smiley gets in some traffic and loses control of the basketball, but then Caden steals it back, goes to the basket. His layup, though, however, is no good. And coming down with the rebound will be Preston. Up the floor and into the front court come the Eagles, leading by 2. On the left side, long ranges, Howard races to the block, to the glass. His reverse layup is good. First points, or make that second pair of points for Howard. Puts his team up 9-5. 4:25 left to go in the first quarter. Boyers up top to Custard. Ball fake, goes to the foul line. In the corner, finds Harris for a 3. No good off the flange. And skying for the rebound is Preston, as he had to rip it away from a teammate. Now here's a pass intended for Howard. And now we got a shaken up Eagle.
Yeah, I think he got hit, Jim, down on the other side on the rebound.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to shake it off right when it happened, and I don't think it was. I don't know if it kind of got just right to the eye or nose or.
The cobweb's a little too thick. Checking in for LCA will be Sam Spillman. Spillman, a 5'11 sophomore, averaging 4.4 points per game, as Preston will go to the bench to try to clear his head. Inbounds pass comes to Howard. LCA leading 9-5 as we hit the midway point of the first quarter. Here's a long 3, good by Howard, who has 7 of his team's now 12 points as they take a 12-5 lead. In the front court, Smiley for 3, yes!
There it is.
Another Knupplaw three-pointer by Mason Smiley. Stops the bleeding and gets Harrison County back to within 4 at 12-8. With the basketball in the front court, Howard moves to the right elbow, kicks it back near side to Mahorn. Mahorn back inside the center circle to Howard, who will reset the offense. Howard steps inside the arc, gets it into the corner. Now up top, Mahorn for a 3. He rims out, too much English. Rebound, though, is going to be chased down by Spillman. Spillman in the corner will find King. King goes to the basket, should be a charge, and it is. Nice job that time by Caden. Standing in there and taking that charge. Trying to check in will be Justin Craycraft, and now Justin will get in there. 6'9 senior, averaging 5.5 points per game. And now coming back in the game will be Preston, as he's gotten his cobwebs together. Well, they've been here for Farmers since 1916, and they're here for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Mike Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit efarmcredit.com. Across the timeline comes Harris over to the far hash mark. He'll find Wilson now inside the center circle to Smiley. Smiley back to the far side to Wilson, long range. He'll get it between the circles now to Harris. Harrison down by 4. Pass to the right side to Smiley at the elbow extended to Custard. He'll get it up top to Elijah. Harris gets it to Custard. Thought about the 3. Thought about it again. Now passes in the paint to Wilson. Down low to Craycraft. Puts up a shot, no good. And coming down with the rebound will be Preston. In the front court come the Eagles. Spillman gets it on the left side and into the hands of King. Now back up top, he'll find Howard. Howard directing traffic as he goes inside the center circle. His team up by 4. He'll hand it off near the top of the key to Preston. Preston looking for help, lobs the ball to the near side to Cummins. Cummins back into the hands of Howard once again. Howard in between the circles finds King. King being traced by Craycraft. Gets it up top. Now in the paint, Howard in the corner, wide open. Cummins for three, and it's good. Colt Cummins is first tray of the game. Puts his team back out in front by 7 at 15-8 with just a couple of seconds under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Down by that 7-point margin, Harrison County with the basketball. Custard hands the ball to Wilson. Wilson at the top of the key, looks to his right, passes to his left. Now in the corner, Custard has it. Back up top to Harris for the long three. Good! Another Knupplaw three-pointer for Harrison County, this time by Elijah Harris. Gets Harrison County back to within 4 at 15-11. 1:32 left to go in the first quarter. From the elbow, Howard gets it into the corner. King walked, no call, and King makes the shot. Puts his team up 17-11. Into the front court with the basketball comes Custard. Custard falls down and now throws it into the LCA bench for the 4th turnover of the first quarter on Harrison County. Coming in now for the Thoroughbreds, Jay Sean Lewis, 5'11 junior, averaging 3.5 points per game. Also, Damon LaRue checks in, 6-foot senior, averaging 1.6. Also coming in for LCA will be Mahorn. Cynthiana Hardee's wants you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner on US 27 South. They've got the best burgers in town. That's at Hardee's in Cynthiana. Across the timeline, Spillman with the basketball being tracked by LaRue. Spillman looks inside. Boy, Craycraft and Mahorn are really going at each other. Mahorn 6'8", Justin 6'9". Here's a pass into the paint. Now they'll kick it back outside to Spillman. Spillman, an up and under shot, no good. And coming down with the rebound will be Craycraft. And as the Thoroughbreds come up the floor, we're going to have a foul called on LCA. It's going to be on Mahorn, and that'll be Peyton Mahorn's second personal foul. So that will get Ted Hall to quickly get somebody up. Coming into the game will be Colt Cummins. 41 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Also returning to the floor, actually coming down the floor for the first time for LCA, Anderson Green. Green, a 6'2 junior, averaging 15 points per game off the bench.
Caden just playing smart there, Jim. Just caught him in a bad position, and Mahorn just couldn't slow down and get out of the way.
And a turnover by Harrison County will give the ball back to the Eagles. Rushing towards the basket is Preston, misses the shot, and the rebound pulled in by Custard. Caden in the front court with 20 seconds left to go in the quarter. He gets stripped from behind. Up the floor on the run out will be Preston, who will put it up and in. And the Eagles lead 19-11 with 12 seconds left to go in the quarter. Some unforced errors by the Thoroughbreds here in this game against a very quality LCA team. 5 seconds left. With the basketball, a steal by LCA. And at the buzzer, a three-pointer is no good by Howard. So at the end of one quarter of play, your score, LCA 19, Harrison County 11. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. Of their shots in the first quarter, while LCA was 8 out of 14, so both teams doing very well in that respect. However, Harrison County's turned the ball over 7 times, LCA just 3. And LCA with the 19-11 lead will have the ball to begin the second quarter. Out top will be Green. Over on the far side, he'll find Howard. Howard, a bounce pass down on the block. Double teamed is going to be Green and throws it away. Jay Sean Lewis with the steal. Into the front court come the Breds, down by 8. Harris with the basketball. Passes to the right side to Wilson. Wilson in between the circles now to Smiley. Once again, back to the near side to Garrett. Garrett pass to Elijah. Harris in between the circles will pass to the near side to Wilson. Up top now to Smiley. To the left side finds Harris once again. Harris inside the arc looking for help. Finds Wilson. There. Oh, almost stolen. Smiley with the basketball now in the paint. Dishes it into the corner to Elijah. Back up top to Wilson. To Smiley on the baseline to Lewis. Lewis, a bounce pass, gets away from Wilson. And the loose ball picked up by LCA going to the basket. And making the finger roll that time was Sam Spillman. Those are Spillman's first points of the game and gives his LCA Eagles their biggest lead at 10 at 21-11. With the basketball in the front court, Wilson dishes it to Harris on the far side of the midcourt circle. Harris now gets it to Wilson on the near side. Well, this is tough LCA defense.
Right.
Wilson looking for someone to help him out, gets the ball to Smiley. Smiley in the paint to Lewis, and Lewis is going to be fouled by Cummins. That'll be Colt Cummins' first personal foul. If you're fed up, call Canup. Canup Law promises to treat you with care, respect, and dignity in whatever legal situation you're in. Visit them at canuplaw.com. Caden Custard returns to the floor for Harrison County as Smiley will have a seat. From his own baseline with 6:35 left to go in the first half and his team down by 10 will be Harris. Harris looking, gets it to Wilson. Oh, Wilson dropped the ball, but he gets it back, gets it to Harris for a three-point try off the front of the rim, no good. Race for the rebound is won by Jay-Sean Lewis. Here's a three-try good by Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, the Canup Law tray, and here on the other side, a three put up no good. And the rebound brought down by Lewis. Into the front court with the basketball
nice
come the Thoroughbreds. A nice pass down low to Craycraft. And Harrison County back to within 5 at 21-16 with 6:03 left to go. And now another turnover by LCA is all of a sudden they may be going a little bit faster than the coach wants them to go.
Jim, Harrison County's just got to watch. That zone's got a lot of active hands. Just take your time. Just be careful passing through.
Right.
And
this is a good LCA defense, as we have seen,
tight,
as you
especially
said.
in the top here.
Lots of deflections. Custard, NBA three, try good. The long-range Canup Law tray by Caden Custard, and Harrison County is back to within 2 at 19-11. 5:40 left to go in the first half. With the basketball, Green dishes it off to Preston. Preston will fire the three, in and out. Rebound is dragged down by Garrett Wilson, and here come the Breds with a chance to tie or take the lead with a tray. Custard at the left elbow in the paint. His shot off the glass is good, and he's fouled. And Caden has tied the score and has a chance to give Harrison County the lead if he makes this free throw on the old-fashioned three-try.
So tough, just looking for his, just patient, waiting for his time to turn the corner, and then next thing you know, just so athletic, gets to the rim. Finishes strong. He's playing hard all night.
And we got several subs coming in for LCA. They've also called a timeout. See if it's a 30 or a full. And it's going to be just a 30, so we'll keep it right here. But, man, Mike, what a comeback. Looked like we were dead in the water at 21-11. And then here we are, 10 points, straight points later. We're tied up and have a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, they get those threes, and they're going to have those looks if they stay in the zone like that, if they move it around and take care of it. And, you know, Elijah had a couple that just didn't fall early and, you know, took advantage of a few turnovers LCA did. But, you know, Harrison County staying strong, keeping your head up and staying aggressive, and it helps, you know, Caden. He can do some things and turn a game around quick.
Oh, yeah. It's because he lives in the gym. He lives in the gym. He has worked out and played with and against probably all the best players in the state at one time or another, and that just makes you good. And then plus, even beyond that, he is such a tough competitor.
Oh, yeah.
He hates to lose.
Yep.
Hates to lose.
I've been impressed with Craycraft early, too. I mean, holding his own down there, and definitely in the last few weeks, just since the last time I've seen him. I mean, he's active and getting up down here versus, you know, getting drawn fouls on himself, just staying up straight, playing hard defense.
Custard makes the free throw. He was a 77. I guess he still kind of is a 77% free throw shooter, but Harrison County has the lead at 22-21. Make sure I get that right there. With the basketball up top is going to be Howard. Howard inside the paint, steps back outside and buries the tray. So Preston Howard, with that long-range trade. Puts his team back out on top, 24-22. 4:52 left to go in the second quarter. With the basketball, Custard goes baseline, cut off, flips the ball up top to Harris. And now Harris is going to be called for a travel. I think he wanted to pass the ball to Jay-Sean, but then at the last second he saw an opening to the basket, and he took an extra step.
Just got a little excited, but right thought.
Yeah. Only the second turnover for the Breds here in the second quarter after they committed 7 in the first quarter. Across the timeline comes LCA up by 2. With the ball now is Preston. He'll get it over to the far side and into the hands of Braylon Moss, who's in the game. Moss, a 6'2 junior, averaging 3.8. This is a junior-dominated team. With the basketball now, Howard gets it in the corner. A 3 by Kenyatta Harge is good. Kenyatta Harge, a 6'1 senior, buries the three-pointer. And LCA, just as quickly as they had given up 10 straight points, is on a little bit of a roll now, up 27-22 as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. In front of the LCA bench is Harris. Harris has the ball knocked away. Loose ball ticked up by Custard, and he's going to be fouled by Spellman, who is going after that loose ball as well. Stockyards Bank and Trust has competitive home equity loans and home equity lines of credit. Ask a lender to learn more. That's Stockyards Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. From the far sideline, inbounding the ball will be Smiley. He'll get it to Custard. Jaden Boyer is back in the game. Custard picks up the dribble, looking for her help. His team down by 5. He'll get the ball to Smiley on the wing. Lobs it back between the circles once again to Custard. Over on the right side, he'll find Wilson. Wilson has the ball knocked out of his hands, and they're going to say it went off of Wilson. So on the turnover, get the ball back to LCA as Simon King returns to the floor. At El Paracutan, daily lunch specials and the always popular buffet are calling your name. Plan a visit soon to the Harrison Square and enjoy a meal at El Paracutan. Inbounds pass this time will come to Preston. He'll drop it off to King. King goes to the far side in front of the stable. Up top to Preston. Preston has the ball knocked away from behind. Loose ball picked up by Custard, who goes to the basket and lays it in. Nice steal and bucket on the other end to get Harrison County back to within 3 at 27-24. In the front court with the basketball now is Howard. Steps back for a 3. This time it's short. Rebound, though, is pulled down and put back up and in by Braylon Moss. In fact, he had a couple of offensive rebounds that time to put his team back up by 5, 29-24. From the corner, Smiley 3, good! Another Canuck-Wall three-pointer by Mason Smiley. Pulls Harrison County back to within 2 at 29-27. 2:55 left. Now in the paint, Harge dumps in about a 5-foot floater to get his team back to a 4-point lead at 31-27. 2:45 left to go in the first half. My pen is starting to smoke. With the basketball now is Custard in the corner. Smiley 3 off the flange. Rebound, though, is going to be pulled down by Jay-Sean Lewis. Here's a 3 from Wilson. Rattles in there. Another Canuck-Ball three-pointer. The second of the game for Garrett. Gets Harrison County back to within 1 at 31-30. Here's a 3 fired up, no good. But racing down the long rebound will be Harge. Harge fires a 3 himself, good! You better go out and guard that man, as he has now picked up a couple of trays, and that will prompt a timeout by Coach Brooks, as he is very displeased with his defense right now. Just a 30-second timeout, but these guys are hitting threes, Mike. We got to go out there and guard them.
Yeah, and it's ones they probably weren't expecting, but when he makes the first one, Jim reminds me a little bit more of the Glenn Davis build, but certainly shows his athleticism. Hits one from the left side and then back over to the right. Just defense just not closing down and kind of leaving those open shots out there. But, yeah, Harrison County doing a good job down here on the offensive side and moving around. They're finding their shots. You'd like to see fall from multiple different players. Just got to still just watch for those passing lanes. They're still, LCA still staying active, trying to get in between on that zone, and you're just going to have to be aware of that. But I think the real problem on this side is defense, Jim. Like you said, it's just not closing out, not staying in front of a couple of guys. I think we clean that up a little bit, we'll be just fine.
Or else it'll get cleared up at the halftime speech.
It very well might.
Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran with State Farm is there. Get a new home or auto quote with Joe by calling 859-234-3813. Joe always supports the Breds and Phillies. Harrison down by 4 with a couple of minutes left to go in the first half. Custard brings the ball across the timeline. Now goes inside the arc on the right side, spins around, off balance, 10-footer, good. Boy, he can hit from just about anywhere.
That he can.
As he gets his team back to within 2 at 34-32. Now in the paint, we're going to have a foul called. I think it's going to be on Craycraft, but we'll make for sure. And it is indeed on Justin. It'll be his first personal foul. 1:52 on the clock. From his own baseline, his team up by 2. Inbounding the ball will be King, who get it on the near side to Howard. Howard fans the ball back out top. Now gets it to Harge. Harge races into the paint. His layup is good, and he's fouled. Harge with 10 second quarter points. He is running us ragged out there, and now has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play if he can make this free throw here with 1:44 on the clock. Coming back in the game will be Boyers. See Harge on the season. He's actually attempting his first free throws. Free throw up, free throw no good, and Boyers will bring down the rebound. Across the timeline comes Custard to Smiley. Over to the far sideline near the hash mark to Lewis. Lewis down on the block to Custard. Fall away jumper, no good. Harge gets the rebound for his LCA Eagles. Gets it into the hands of Howard, who puts up a shot, no good. Smiley then gets the rebound, and here we'll head the other way. In the front court, a follow-away jumper, good by Caden Custard. And Harrison County is back to within 2 again at 36-34 with 1:10 left. But from the left side, Hagan Preston says, I'm going to answer your shot with one of my own. He makes it to make it 38-34 with a minute left to go in the first half. With the basketball, Custard goes baseline, gets his man in the air, puts up a shot, good, and he's fouled, and Caden has a chance once again for the old-fashioned three-point play, his 14th point of the quarter. Gets Harrison County back to within 2 at the present time, 38-36.
Jim, you talked about before Saxton, Hagan, and Anderson, trying to watch all of those in double figures. What we don't need is Kenyatta Harge, who's played 2 games, averaged 5.5, and what he's already got for this game is, what's he up to, 12?
He's up to 10 now.
10.
His coming out party. Free throw is good by Custard. Harrison County down by just 1 at 38-37. Ball was knocked out of bounds. LCA maintains possession. They've led most of the way, but Harrison County right there. Harge gets the ball inside, knocked away. Loose ball, though, is going to be chased down by Moss. Moss gets it down low to Howard, misses the shot, and Boyers with the rebound. Here come the Thoroughbreds with 30 seconds left. Top of the key, 3 for Custard, good! And Harrison County has retaken the lead on the Knupplaw three-pointer by Caden Custard, which makes the score 40-38. 17 seconds left now in the first half. It's been exciting. With the basketball, Preston lobs to the near side to Howard, who looks at the clock and sees there's 10. Back on the far side to Preston once again. Preston, a step inside the arc at the elbow, launches it down on the baseline to King, misses the shot, and the rebound is going to be picked up by Mason Smiley, and that's how the first half will come to an end. Woo! Boy, these boys are getting up and down the floor fast as lightning here in the first half. We invite you to join us now for our halftime show, brought to you by Joe Cochran out at State Farm. We'll overall the scoring and stats from this exciting first half from here on the hilltop. Once again, your halftime score, Harrison County 40, LCA 38. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. Back here at the Hilltop, the LCA Eagles and the Harrison County Thoroughbreds just running up and down the floor, making good shots. We're hitting over 65%. They're hitting over 53%. That's enough said. We've buried 8 threes on just 12 shots, while LCA is 6 of 13, 6 for 13. So both teams shooting very well from beyond the arc. Take a look at the individual scoring, however. LCA is led in the first half by Saxton Howard, who has 10 points here at the break, as does Kenyatta Harge, who came in the second quarter and just made shot after shot after shot. He has 10 points as well. 7 points for Hagen Preston, 5 for Colton Cummins, and then 2 points apiece for Sam Spillman and Braylon Moss, 5 points for Simon King as well. Also getting into the game but not scoring for LCA, Anderson Green, Peyton Mahorn are the only 2. For Harrison County, Caden Custard leads the way with 18 first half points, all 18 coming in the second quarter, including a couple of trays. 9 points for Mason Smiley on 3 3-pointers. 8 points for Garrett Wilson on a couple of trays. 3 points for Elijah Harris. He had a triple back in the first quarter. And a couple of points off the bench as well for Justin Craycraft. Also playing but not scoring for the Breds, Damon LaRue, Jay Sean Lewis, and Jaden Boyers. That's the way the individual numbers break down. We'll take a break, come back, and look at the team stats right for this timeout. But once again, your halftime score, Harrison County 40, LCA 38. You're listening to this halftime show brought to you by Joe Cochran at State Farm on WCYN. Here at the Hilltop, let's take a look at the team stats in a wild and woolly first half, which had 3 ties and 4 lead changes. Harrison County, as we said, blistering the nets, 15 for 23, 65.2%. They attempted 12 trays and made 8. Meanwhile, LCA not doing too badly, 16 of 30 for 53.3%. They attempted 13 shots from beyond the arc and made 6. Free throws, not a lot. In fact, Harrison County was 2 for 2 for 100%, while LCA only went to the line once and missed that 1 free throw attempt. Turnovers, Harrison County has turned the ball over 10 times, but only 3 of those came in the second quarter. Meanwhile, LCA had 3 in both the first and second quarters to get 6 altogether. And Harrison County barely edges the Eagles in the rebound department, 12 to 11. 5 offensive and 6 defensive rebounds for LCA. They were led in that department by Hagen Preston's 3. Meanwhile, for Harrison County, 2 offensive. You don't get a lot of offensive rebounds if you're making 65%. They also had 10 defensive boards. Leading the team in that stat were a couple of players who had 3 rebounds apiece, both Custard and Jay Sean Lewis doing that trick. So there are your halftime stats. Both teams anxious to get the second half started are already out on the floor going through their mid-game warm-ups. We'll take a break and come back with the third quarter handoff right after this timeout. But once again, your halftime score, Harrison County 40, LCA 38. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. A narrow 2-point advantage over the visiting LCA Eagles. As we mentioned in the pregame show, the Breds will be back in action on Friday night when they'll head up to Falmouth for a girl-boy doubleheader and a district doubleheader. We have all the action for you of both those games. The girls play at 6 and the boys play at 8. And Mike, what does Harrison County have to do to stop the Eagles?
Well, I think a big thing on the first half for me, Jim, was those turnovers. And you mentioned for Harrison County, they cleaned it up a lot after that first quarter, and that was good to see. That was kind of the story there that kept them in it. You like to see, getting a spread of threes between Wilson and Smiley and Harris and Custard, all of them, making shots. They're going to get those against this zone. They're going to get those looks. Hopefully we can stay hot. And then just kind of close out. Last thing we need, Saxton's going to get his for LCA. Let's get no more surprises, I guess, from maybe some role players that they've had in the past. But I think if we can clean that up and just stay aggressive.
All righty, Harrison with the basketball to start things out here in the third quarter. Boyers to the left side finds Harris, goes baseline, cut off, backs up, gets the ball in the hands of Custard. Custard to the top of the key to Wilson. He'll give it back to Caden. Over on the right side, long-range three by Smiley, rolls out no good. And coming down with the rebound will be Mahorn.
Harris goes back up and one.
All right.
Got on the inside rebound, staying aggressive early, went back up, draws the foul early.
Simon King commits the foul. Elijah Harris at the line for the first time tonight on the year, a 71% free throw shooter. He has 5 points as Harrison County's lead grows to 42-38. Harris's free throw is up and no good. Rebound's going to be hauled in by Preston. But down, here come the Eagles, down by 4 points, 42-38. Back and forth we've gone during this game. That's why we've had 3 ties and 4 lead changes. Harrison County's led by as many as 10. Meanwhile, LCA is led by as many as 8. So the swinging pendulum of momentum has been going wild here in the first half and now into the third quarter as well. In between the circles, Preston pass to the right side, gets the ball to King, back to Preston. Preston goes inside the arc, but Custard staying right with him defensively. Directing some traffic is Preston as he goes to the foul line. Jump shot, rolls out. Rebound those, picked up and put back up and in by Mahorn. Mahorn, a warrior on the glass. Those are his first points of the night, however. Makes it 42-40. 6:35 left to go in the third. Harris with the basketball at the right elbow. Backs up in between the circles. Now lobs it to Custard. Custard in the paint, stops, dumps it down to Boyers. Reverse layup is going to be called off because of a travel. Just too many steps that had to be made as Craycraft will check back in. Well, do you have a big group to feed? The Beast's Pizza is great for birthdays and parties. Just dial 235-7627 right now. That's 235.
Snap.
There you go. Except Ryan has added the different snap the fingers too.
Did he get a little snap of a finger in there?
Yeah. I have trouble with that. That's why you're here. No, I'm just kidding.
Better work on my snap before next time, Jim.
Okay, there you go. In the front court, down by 2, LCA at the top of the key, Mahorn. Mahorn gives the ball now into the hands of Howard. Follow away jumper, good. Saxton Howard with a dozen points ties the game at 42-42. Our 4th tie of the game comes at the 5:48 mark of the third quarter. Craycraft on the wing to Smiley, up top now to Harris. Harris drifts to the right side. Now we'll reverse. Back inside the center circle. Pass to Wilson. On the weave to Smiley, and then back to Harris again. Elijah in between the circles, stops, gets the ball on the right side in front of the Sable to Smiley, up top to Harris. Ball fake, goes into the paint, a floater is way off the mark, no good. And LCA comes down with the rebound. But a wild throw goes beyond Peyton Mahorn and out of bounds, so on the turnover, give the ball back to the Thoroughbreds. Well, they've been here for farmers since 1916, and they're here for you now. Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Mike Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit efarmcredit.com. With the basketball, Harris lobs it to Custard. Custard to the elbow to Craycraft. Craycraft almost double team, gets the ball to Smiley. Now back up top once again to Custard. Caden, a bounce pass to Harris over on the far side. He'll get it back from Elijah. Steps inside the paint, now kicks it to Smiley for a 3, and it's good. Another Knuppwall three-pointer by Mason Smiley. And a timeout is going to be called. Let's see if it's a 30 or a full. And it is going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. But Mike, just kind of continuing on what we did in the first half.
Yeah, still a good pace. And Mason doing a good job there just getting available.
Yes.
I mean, just staying open and ready in case. And Caden, just so smart. Come in, catches man off balance, got him spun around, makes a cut to the middle, and then automatically feeds it out for an open three. And as long as we can kind of just stay hot, Jim.
Right. It's one of those things where, talking about Caden, you always, every second have to be aware that he may pass you the ball because he's got such strength in his passes in the first place that that ball's going to be on top of you in no time at all.
No doubt. Keep your eyes open, keep your hands ready, and be ready to react.
Cynthiana Hardee's wants you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner on US 27 South. They've got the best burgers in town. That's at Hardee's in Cynthiana. Now, I think, looks like Elijah might have a bloody nose. So, didn't see him get struck or anything.
Didn't that time. I mean, he made that drive. It was pretty hard to the rim when he did his floater earlier. I don't know. It was kind of a little bit crowded. Maybe he could have caught something there. And
could have, but nobody seems extraordinarily concerned. We're just kind of standing
ready to
around
get back
the
out there
huddle,
and play.
while the LCA guys are already out on the floor going, what's going on? I want to remind everyone that if you're fed up, call Canup. Canup Law promises to treat you with care, respect, and dignity in whatever legal situation you're in. Visit them at canuplaw.com. Oh, they're cleaning the blood droplets off the floor. And as always, the best combatant against blood on the floor are sneakers.
I'll tell you what.
Rubber does not soak up blood, people. Why do people keep trying to do that? It's the 21st century. I don't know.
Got our best cleanup crew around.
That's right.
JoJo.
All right, as we get back to play, LCA down by 3 with the basketball. 4:41 left to go in the third out of the timeout. Howard races to the basket, puts it up and misses it, but we're going to have a charge called as Elijah Harris stands in there and takes the charge from Saxton Howard. That'll be Howard's first foul of the ball game. Great play that time. An inspirational play, hopefully.
Yeah, way to stand in there. Howard just so fast. He gets, he
yeah.
can get that first step and gets around the corner and kind of makes things happen for him for sure. But Elijah's staying in there and taking a charge.
Into the front court come the Breds up by 3. Custard with it on the near sideline. Gets it to the elbow to Craycraft, who then throws the ball away. Into the front court with the basketball will come Cummins. He'll get it on the left side to King. King down on the baseline to Mahorn. Mahorn in traffic, puts up a shot, no good, but a foul is going to be called on Harrison County. Mahorn's got some nice moves for a 6'8 guy.
Yeah, he does. He just waited for his step through there, just couldn't quite finish.
First trip to the line tonight for Mahorn. On the year, he is a 52% free throw shooter. First one's on the way and no good. Well, 52% by the law of averages. He should make this one. Let's hope the law of averages.
That's right. We're going to work against it this time.
Gone to sleep tonight or something. Second free throw by Mahorn is good.
There it is.
So, oh well. Like I said, the law of averages catches up. And that'll bring the LCA Eagles back to within 2 at 45-43 as we near the midway point of the third quarter. Harris with the basketball, trying to get away from the defense of Spillman. Gets it to Custard, now in between the circles to Wilson. Garrett spins around, finds Smiley on the right wing. Goes inside the arc, in the corner to Custard. Custard back up top to Smiley for the long three. This time it's too short. Rebound dragged down by Craycraft. A lot of contact, and the ball is knocked away. Into the front court. Here come the Eagles. Pass down low to Mahorn. Might have traveled, but puts it up and in. And Patrick Mahorn has tied the score at 45-45. 3:31 left to go in the third quarter. Now got a loose ball, and a foul is going to be called on Harris. Will be his first personal foul. So give the ball back to LCA, who has a chance to retake the lead in this back and forth game that has seen 5 ties and 4 lead changes. Inbounds pass will come to Howard. Howard had 10 points in the first half, but has been held to just 2 here in the third. Across the timeline on the opposite side of the midcourt circle. Now gets it on the wing to King. King puts up a 3-pointer short. Rebound pulled down by Elijah Harris, and here come the Breds up the floor. Harris lobs the ball to Custard. Custard at the far sideline in front of the stable. Lobs to the near side in front of his own bench to Smiley. Mason tries a pass inside. Another bad pass. Picked off by Spillman. He'll put up a three-pointer. Good. Sam Spillman with the long-range tray. And the Eagles have gone ahead 48-45. 2:46 left to go in this third quarter. With the basketball, Smiley on the baseline to Craycraft. In the paint to Custard. Makes a move and makes the shot. Custard with his 20th point. Gets Harrison County back to within one at 48-47. In the front court, the Eagles with the ball. Here's a three fired up by Mahorn. Rolls off the rim, no good. And Smiley will get the rebound. Breds with a chance to take the lead. Wilson will take the dribble and get it to Custard. Custard back to Wilson in between the circles to the right side to Smiley. Smiley to Custard in between the circles to the left side finds Harris. Harris looks inside, nothing there. Back to Custard. Custard puts up a three-point try off the front of the rim. Rebound pulled down by Harris. He'll go back to the basket. His shot is good, and he is fouled. And he'll have a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play as he puts Harrison County back out on top by a score of 49-48.
Jim Elijah there on the last 3 times, 2 on defense and 1 on offense. I know he got a little frustrated on the floater, didn't go, but he's been under there and gotten, pretty sure, 3 rebounds in a row, and that one kind of paid off and got him the end one. Just way to stay physical and get in there and help.
Harris 0 for 1, make that 0 for 1 from the charity stripe tonight. Free throw up, free throw good. Harrison County leading by 2 with 2:01 left to go in the third quarter. Back and forth we go. LCA with the basketball. With it coming across the timeline will be Preston. Preston lobs the ball to Spillman. Spillman a step inside the center circle. Just dribbling him from one hand to another with 1:47 left to go in the third. Over on the far side, he'll bring the ball himself. Now in the corner to Mahorn for a three, and the lead, air ball. Rebound pulled down by Jay Sean Lewis, and here come the Thoroughbreds. Up by 2 with a minute and a half left to go in the third. Inside the center circle is Harris. Looks over to Custard. Now gets the ball into Caden's hands. Custard being guarded closely by Spillman. A lot of hand checking. Here's a pass to the right side to Harris. Fakes the three, moves inside the arc. Ball's loose, and the loose ball picked up by Lewis to Smiley for 3. No! And the rebound's going to be pulled in by Mahorn. Into the front court with the basketball come the Eagles. On the right side, Cummins finds Spillman. Spillman to Mahorn. Mahorn to the block. Should have been a charge, no call. Harge with the basketball in the paint, goes back. Now knocks down Custard once again. Rebound on the floor. Oh, is picked up by Harge, and he throws it pretty hard at Jaden Boyers. In the NFL, that'll be a penalty of some sort. But Harge falls out of bounds, so give the ball back to Harrison County as things are getting just a little bit physical out there. Craycraft will come in now for Boyers. 47 seconds left to go in the third. Harrison up 50-48. The Thoroughbreds led by 2 at the half. So nothing has been decided here in the third. Custard picks up the inbounds pass and they'll get it to Harris. Harris across the timeline to the far hash mark to Smiley. In the corner finds Custard. Caden on the wing to Smiley, up top to Harris. Harris goes into the paint, stops, gets the ball to Smiley, back to Harris at the top of the key. 30 seconds left to go in the quarter. Harrison County up by 2. Custard in front of the stable, back up top to Smiley, down in the paint to Craycraft, now to the top of the key to Harris. Harris fires an open 3, air ball. Harge with the rebound, and here come the Eagles with the basketball as Harge goes inside the paint. Now kicks it back up top once again to Spillman. 9 seconds left. From the corner, Harge for 3, no. Custard with the rebound, and we're going to have a foul called on LCA. Foul is going to be called on Cummins. That'll be Colt Cummins' second personal foul. So 4 seconds left. Harrison County's got to go the length of the floor. Inbounding the ball will be Lewis. Gets it to midcourt to Smiley. Smiley drops the ball. Harge picks it up. And a shot at the buzzer is no good. So at the end of 3 quarters of play, your score, Harrison County 50, LCA 48. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC Wayne. All righty, back here at the Hilltop. 1 quarter left to go in regulation. Harrison County down or up by 2, but LCA has the basketball. Harge, who has killed us inside with 10 points, gets the ball in the paint now to Preston, to Spillman for 3, no good. Fight for the rebound, and they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow will give the ball back to Harrison County. LCA still getting some good looks. They're just not going down here in the second half.
Yeah, and then a couple of them in the case where they've got the wrong person taking them, I think.
Yeah.
But they've done a good job of just staying physical. I think, like you said there a second ago, a little chippy, but Harrison County played through it, shake off the frustration, and just keep playing hard.
Craycraft on the baseline, guns it across court to Lewis, who will get it into the hands of Custard. Over to the left side to Smiley. Down on the baseline to Craycraft, splits the double team, and the rebound is going to be brought down by Harge. In the front court, a bad pass. Going to be knocked out of bounds by Harrison County, so LCA will maintain possession. 7:20 left, Harrison County up by 2. We've had 5 ties and 5 lead changes. From his own baseline to trigger the inbounds pass will be Anderson Green, who's back in the game. Green looking, gets it into the hands of Preston. Preston, an up and under move, misses it. Rebound, though, is going to be hauled in by Craycraft. And up the floor, here come the Thoroughbreds. Garrett Wilson dragged the pivot foot. That's 7 turnovers in the second half for the Breds. Don't need to be getting into that habit. Give it back to the Eagles with 7:07 left, and Harrison still leading 50-48. That was our score at the end of the third quarter. Across the timeline with the basketball comes Preston. Gets it to the top of the key now into the hands of Green. Green back to the near side to Preston. Back up top to Green. Green from the left elbow in the corner will get it into the hands of Cummins. Now on the right side, they'll find Spillman. Spillman on the wing to Preston. Preston reverses, goes in front of his own bench. Now on the baseline, trying to get around Craycraft. Throws the ball away. Steal by Custard. Caden up the floor. We got numbers 3 on 2, but then Lewis bobbles it, and the loose ball picked up by LCA. In the front court, Spillman. He'll kick it down on the block. Wide open is Preston, who puts it up and in, and we're all tied up again, this time at 50-50. 6:17 left on the clock. Across the timeline comes Custard. Lobs it, knocked away, and Garrett Wilson trying to save it is unable to. So some sloppy ball handling by Harrison here in the fourth quarter. Back in the game for LCA, Howard returns. Stockyards Bank and Trust has competitive home equity loans and home equity lines of credit. Ask a lender to learn more. That's Stockyards Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Across the timeline comes Preston. Dribbles over to the right side, long range, gets to the top of the key to Howard. And then Howard throws the ball away. Good defense by the Thoroughbreds. Wilson gets the ball to Craycraft, back to Wilson. Now Wilson into the hands of Custard. And I feel much better now. Custard gets it on the wing to Wilson in front of his own bench, steps inside the arc, pulls up for a 10-footer, rolls off, but there with the rebound is going to be Elijah Harris. Nice job that time by Elijah as Harrison County goes back out on top, 52-50. 5.5 left to go in this basketball game. With the ball now is Preston at the top of the key, moves to the left elbow. Now down to the block, his shot blocked by Craycraft, gets his own rebound, however, and puts it up and in.
Jim, I don't know how you can do that. I mean, his man was on it, come back down, and then Harrison County clears, and he's able to go back up for the shot. I think you got to call something there.
7th tie of the ball game. With the ball, Custer tries to dish it to Craycraft. He can't control it, and it goes out of bounds. That's 10 turnovers here in the second half. Back in the game, King returns for LCA along with Saxton Howard. At El Paracutan, daily lunch specials and the always popular buffet are calling your name. Plan a visit soon to the Harrison Square and enjoy a meal at El Paracutan. With the basketball in the front court on the near side, Howard long range. Howard still has his dribble, now throws it in between the circles of Preston. Preston, a lot of contact between Wilson and Green. Pass to the top of the key to Preston. Preston spins around, gets the ball to King beyond the arc. Now nearly a steal, but LCA able to hang on. King has it. I think he might have walked.
I think he walked
now
too.
A ball is knocked out of bounds by Custard on a steal attempt, so LCA will maintain possession as both teams a little bit shaky right now.
That's two critical calls that should have went probably Harrison County's way.
Yeah, from my vantage point anyway, and yours. They've got the same vantage point. Ryan would agree.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we win that argument. But the play has already started, so we can't call it back.
And we don't have stripes.
That's right. Howard from the right side, three-pointer, rolls off the rim, no good. And on the offside, Craycraft will come down with his 5th rebound of the night. Into the front court comes Custard. Custard drives, a floater from 10 is off the front of the rim. Rebound is bounced around and finally comes into the hands of King. And getting it on a run out is Howard. And Howard with his 14th point gives his team the lead back at 54-52. 3:52 left to go. With the basketball, Wilson gets it to Harris on the wing to Custard. Custard fires a contested 3, no good. And on the offside, rebound picked up and put up by Lewis, and it's good. Nice job that time by Jay-Sean. His first points of the night, but they're big points as it reties the game, this time at 54-54 with 3:33 on the clock. With the basketball on the left side, long range is Howard. Howard falls down. It should have been a travel. He'll get the ball into the hands of Spillman. Spillman to the foul line to Howard. Howard tries a shot, but it's going to be blocked away, and a foul called on Harrison County. Boy, it's getting to be a war down low. Foul's going to be called on Craycraft. That'll be Justin's second. That'll send Howard to the line for the first time tonight on the year. Saxton Howard is an 89% free throw shooter. With 3:18 left, trying to break this tie. And his percentages suggest he may make at least one of these. First one, though, is no good, and he missed it by a mile. Of course, Reed Shepard misses every once in a while,
every now and then. I don't think the ball don't lie on that one, Jim. I think he kind of slid a little bit before he got the ball off. And
Mason Smiley checks back in for the Thoroughbreds as Howard's about to attempt his second free throw to break this tie, which he does this time. Makes the score 55-54 in favor of the Eagles. Harrison down by 1, but with the basketball. In the front court, in front of his own bench is Smiley. Gets it in the paint to Lewis. Back to Smiley on the wing. Up top now to Custard. Custard splits the double team. Now moves into the paint. May have walked. Puts up a terrible shot, but somehow or another it goes in. And Harrison County, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, up 56-55. With the basketball in the paint is Preston. Misses the shot. Actually, I think it was a pass he was trying. Now in the corner, Preston puts up a three-pointer, no good, and Craycraft goes in there and gets the rebound. Boy, the pace of this game, fast and furious, and now Harrison County wants a timeout. We'll take it with them. 2 minutes and 34 seconds left to go. Your score, Harrison County 56, LCA 55. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC. Here at the Hilltop, Harrison County up by 1 with 2.5 minutes left to go. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran with State Farm is there. Get a new home or auto quote with Joe by calling 859-234-3813. Joe always supports the Breds and the Phillies. Out of the timeout, Harrison County with that 1-point lead will have the basketball. Smiley, whoa! The ball was almost thrown away as we didn't pay attention. But Custard able to get the loose ball. Now to Smiley, up top to Custard. in the paint to Wilson. Wilson, a 10-footer, good. Nice shot that time by Garrett. He has 10 points, and Harrison County's lead up to 3 now at 58-55. 2:17 on the clock. In the front court with the basketball on the far side of the midcourt circle is Spillman. He'll hand it off to King. King thought about the 3, now passes it to Green. Green in the paint, stops and pops from 12, no good. Rebound is going to be picked up by King. His putback is no good, but he's going to be fouled. We have got to do a better job on the defensive glass. That was a freebie we should have had. Craycraft picks up his 3rd personal foul. King going to the line for the first time tonight on the year. King, well, at least according to this, is making his first free throw attempts of the season. Well, he drains it, whether he had shot any or not. Second free throw with 1:59 left to try to get his team back to within 1 is on the way, and King makes both free throws. Harrison County's lead down to 58-57. As Harge gets off the bench to check back in. Cross timeline comes Custard, gets it in the corner to Smiley. Smiley on the wing, lobs it up top and into the hands of Harris. Inside the center circle, he'll find Custard. Custard, his team up by 1, can milk the clock some, gets the ball to Harris in front of the stable. Now back up top to Custard once again. Custard to the near side to Smiley. Lobs it inside to Craycraft. Shot will be blocked by King, but they're going to call King for the foul. And Mike, I don't know, that looked awfully clean.
Looked clean. I think
wow.
he might have, so we might be 3 for 3
yeah, I think we got it tied up now.
We got tied back up. Ooh. You know, I think Jim on the back here on the last defensive side, when we get a guard that'll kind of stay and help rebound like Elijah has sometimes, that kind of helps. But when it's just Craycraft, sometimes then LCA sends a free runner in, and we've just got to do a better job, like you said. Just going to have to help on the glass here as we come down to the last minute and a half.
Craycraft, normally a 41% free throw shooter, drains the first one. And we'll have a second one here to put his team up by 3, which he does.
There you go, big man.
Nice job. Jay Sean Lewis back into the game for Harrison County, who now leads 60-57. And we'll timeout on the floor. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here. 1:29 left. Harrison County leading 60-57. Well, do you have a big group to feed? I guess you always have a big group to feed.
Oh, we always got a big group.
Yeah. The Beast Pizza is great for birthdays and parties. Just dial 235-7627 right now. That's 235.
Snap.
There you are.
That Beast Pizza is good for parties, celebrations, or just Meyer Farrell dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by the time you got a lot of little kids, it goes a long way. Works pretty good.
How many pizzas do you normally order on any given day?
It just depends. I mean, if it's one of those, maybe just 2 and a side of some sort. So, I mean, I think it'll surprise you. That big box, it travels.
All right. Out of the timeout, LCA down by 3 has the basketball. Picking the ball up as it neared the midcourt stripe was Preston. Gets to the top of the key to Howard. Howard now into the hands of Spillman. Back to Howard. Puts up a 3 for the tie. No. Harge gets the rebound, though. Goes back up and in. Harge has been the bane of our existence here in this ball game. He now has 12 points. Timeout called by LCA. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. Yep, it's 30-second timeout. But we have not stopped Harge all night long, Mike.
11 points on the season. He's got 12 tonight. And I think, the Breds have done a good job of limiting where they needed to, but that 12 makes a huge difference.
1:15 left on the clock. Still loads of time in this basketball game that right now sees Harrison County up by a single point, 60-59. We mentioned in the pregame show LCA's Achilles heel this year, close games. They're 3-6 in games decided by 10 points or less. Meanwhile, in case you were wondering, and this is something I should have looked up before I started talking, but Harrison County, during their 8-game losing streak, had 5 times that we lost by 10 points or less. So altogether on the year, we're 3-5 in games decided by 10 points or less. So just about the same number.
About the same. Somebody here is going to improve that record, but let's hope we can give LCA another one in the loss column and take care of the ball, Jim, this last minute and 15. Just kind of watch, make your passes crisp, keep movement, keep it in cadence hand the best we can, and just take control here at the last minute apiece.
All righty. Out of the timeout, Harrison County will have the basketball, and for the first time tonight, will be facing full court pressure. Just 75 seconds in regulation. Custer will inbounds the ball. Looking, somebody get open.
Get it in.
And man, they were dragging Wilson's shirt. No call. Wilson in the backcourt gets the inbounds pass. Needs help, finds Custard. Custard races into the front court. And now we'll reverse. And we're going to have a foul called on Cummins, and that'll be Colt Cummins' third. Well, I tell you what, LCA is about as aggressive as any team we played this year.
Fast, you know, every single one on the perimeter is fast, and the big men are athletic, and just kind of move and just get right in your chest.
And Howard is really the only football player. From the near sideline at the hash, Smiley to trigger the inbounds pass, gets it into the backcourt to Wilson. Garrett now to Harris. Harris across the timeline, Euro stepped, and you can't Euro step from the top of the key. So give the ball back to LCA with 57 seconds left. Checking back in will be King. Wow. From the far sideline.
Got a little bit excited, Jim. I think he didn't quite know where he wanted to go. He wanted to go somewhere. Didn't quite know where, and just
didn't work out. Down by one, LCA with the basketball with 52 seconds left. In between the circles is King. Gets the ball down low to Harge. Harge trying to get around Craycraft. He does, and he's going to travel. Nope, we're going to call a charge. Good job by Justin there. Gives the ball back to Harrison County.
Kind of hooked around him.
Yep, use that big hook.
He's a big kid. I mean, I thought for a second he was going to kind of get around and free himself up, but good call. Now Harrison County, let's take care of it here.
Facing full court pressure once again. This time Wilson will trigger the inbounds pass. Wilson looking, gets it to Smiley. Smiley is going to be fouled in the backcourt by Spillman, and that'll be Spillman's second personal foul. We still got a couple of fouls to give before we go to the free throw line. 43 seconds on the clock. And now a timeout called by the Thoroughbreds. We'll take it as well. 43 seconds left in regulation. Your score, Harrison County 60, LCA 59. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC. Reset, Harrison County leading 60-59. We have the ball facing full court pressure. There's 43 seconds left. We have one timeout left. LCA has two timeouts left, and the possession arrow faces LCA. There, Smiley with the basketball in the front court, triple team, throws the ball away. Kenyatta Harge gets it down low, shot put up and good by Howard, and the LCA Eagles have retaken the lead at 61-60. 24 seconds left. In the front court, Custard. Custard in the paint to the basket, shot blocked, but we're going to have a blocking foul on Harge. With 18 seconds left. That will be Harge's second personal foul. And now an official's timeout as on the ground is Colt Cummins, who went down hard. And it looks like that even Hagan Preston a little shaken up. But they're working on the lower back of Cummins. He must have come down awkwardly onto the floor.
I think he hit pretty square.
Yeah.
Hopefully young man's all right. We'll see.
Our crack team of trainers checking things out. As they're also taking a look at his left ankle. Now one of the LCA coaches over there taking a gander as well. 61-60. Harrison County down. 18 seconds left, and when we get back to action, Custard will be going to the line for two. Caden had 18 points in the second quarter, but since that time, only a couple of buckets in the third as the Eagle defense has figured out a way to not so much shut him down as keep him away from the basketball.
Just slow him down. Yeah, you've seen a couple of times we got in trouble in the backcourt with, either, Wilson having to kind of bring it up and then having to wait for somebody to come back and relieve some pressure. I think one time Craycraft even had it back there. So they've found a way to kind of rotate it out of his hands, as you had mentioned. And then even the zone, it's not a kind of a trap on him, but they're just watching when he came around, earlier in the third. And then they'll bring the extra guy over from behind and force it out of his hand a little bit. But he's done a good job, I think, of, maintaining the pressure and fighting through it. Good job being physical there to the rack at the end to give him a chance.
Colt Cummins has been taken back to the locker room to get some more attention. Custard 2 for 2 from the line tonight. First one for the tie is no good. Daggone. He will have another, however, to try to tie this game up. But first, a timeout called by LCA. We'll take it as well. 18 seconds left to go, your score. LCA 61, Harrison County 60. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC1. All righty, back here at the Hilltop, out of the timeout with 18 seconds left. Caden Custer will be going to the line for the second of his two free throws tries to try to tie this game up. Each team with one timeout left. Custer toes the line. His free throw is on the way and good, and we're tied up at 61-61. Jay-Sean Lewis checks back in for defensive purposes. Inbounds pass will come to Preston. Preston into the front court is going to be fouled by Smiley. We've got a couple of fouls to give. That'll be Mason's first personal. 13 seconds left. From just in front of us, inbounding the ball will be Howard. He'll bring it into the backcourt to Preston. Preston met by Smiley as he approaches the midcourt stripe. 8 seconds left. And now another foul by Smiley. And we still have another foul to give. 6.8 seconds left. Tie score 61-61. Harrison County lost an overtime game earlier this year against Madison Southern and against Louisville Moore. So we're 0 for 2 in extra sessions. Here's a pitch into the backcourt by Preston. He doesn't know how much time is left. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Preston at the buzzer. No! As that ball rolled off to the right.
It hung up there for a while.
Overtime, people. We'll take a break and be back with the extra session right after this. Your score, 61-61. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN Sports. All right, as we start the overtime, Simon King on one side, the midcourt stripe, Caden Custard on the other. LCA has not played an overtime game this year. Harrison County has lost 2. One to Louisville Moore early in the year, and over at Lexington Catholic lost to Madison Southern. The tap is going to be tapped out of bounds by Harrison County, but I think the officials got that one wrong. The officials are going to talk about it, and I almost can guarantee you that Harrison County will get the ball.
It should be. Caden came back with his hand this way. I don't think there's any way it could have went that direction on us.
The laws of physics.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. So Harrison County will get the ball, and Coach Hall not putting up a fuss, as I think he knows it too. But you still got to have your say. And now the lead official will come over to have a discussion as they'll.
I think one of the players was signaling for a replay, Jim. I don't know exactly how, but
that's the culture as we know it now. Every controversial call needs a replay.
We're gonna have to get our video here to
Yeah.
Run it back for them.
Be like those commercials where they drop the red flag. Red flag. Say, no, you didn't tell me to get that at the grocery.
All
yes,
right.
I did. Oh, no.
Let's see.
Do he just take a look at the replay? No, not the replay. All righty. Harrison County with the basketball to start out the overtime. Custard across the timeline. Neither team has anybody in any real foul trouble. Custard looks over to Coach Case, who tells him just to dribble the ball inside the center circle until LCA comes out of that zone. Now they start coming out. Garrett Wilson with the basketball now. Back to Custard near the center circle. Caden looks to his left as he drifts to his right. Now comes back to the left side, gets to the foul line to Wilson. Wilson, double team, has the ball taken away. And here comes LCA on the turnover. Preston to the basket, misses the layup. Rebound fought for, still being fought for. And now with the rebound will be Custard. Custard puts it up and in. Caden gives his team the lead at 63-61. 3:08 left. Here's a long three, no good. Rebound pulled down this time by Wilson. And here come the Breds, who have a chance now with that 63-61 lead to bleed the clock some. Custard almost had the ball taken away from him. Gets it to Smiley in the paint to Wilson. Wilson shot blocked by King, and King gets the rebound as well. We'll head the other direction. Down by 2, Eagles with the basketball. Spillman goes to the top of the key, backs up for a three, and the lead, no. Rebound is going to be saved from going out of bounds by Elijah Harris. Into the front court we go. Custard with it. Crosses the timeline on the far side of the circle, goes into the paint. A floater from 10 is no good. And the rebound is going to be saved from going out of bounds by Custard. In the corner with the basketball now, Craycraft up top finds Custard again. 2:11 in the clock. Harrison still up by 2. Now Custard falls down, and the loose ball picked up by LCA. In the front court, going to the basket, Howard. That should be charged, but they're going to call a block. The basket was good to tie the score, and now with a chance to give his team the lead on the old-fashioned three-point play will be Howard.
Jim, I think Elijah was there for a good piece.
Agreed.
Seemed pretty solid to me.
Let's see. Howard on the day is 1 for 2 from the line. 2:02 on the clock here in our first overtime. Free throw is good for the lead as LCA goes back out on top, 64-63. 9 ties and 9 lead changes in this ball game. Wilson gets the ball to Smiley, now into the hands of Custard. Custard to the Justin Craycraft. Ball taken away though, and as Harge goes up for the shot, the ball is going to be knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. The LCA will maintain possession. We got to come to the ball. You can't stay back against a team like this because they'll take it away from you every time. From his own baseline, Howard gets the ball to King. Now to Harge. In the corner, Howard has it once again. Howard brings the ball back out top to reset. 97 seconds left to go in this overtime. Right now, LCA up 64-63. Howard gets the ball on the near side of the circle to Preston. Preston being guarded by Custard. Picks up his dribble. No, he still has his dribble. Goes in between the circles to the left side. Long range to Spillman. Up top now to Howard once again. And now a timeout called by LCA. 1:14 left to go in overtime. Your score, LCA 64, Harrison County 63. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC. Alrighty, back here on the hilltop, up by a single point. LCA has the basketball with 1:14 left. Harrison County still a couple of timeouts left. LCA has one. Possession arrow facing the way of the Eagles. With the basketball, Spillman across the timeline against Harris, moves to the wing on the right side. Now spins around looking for help. Now gets it into the hands once again of Preston inside the center circle. Preston rushes to the block. His shot partially blocked, but going in there is King to put it back up and in. Simon King with the big basket. And Harrison County finds themselves down by 3, 66-63 with 49 seconds left. A timeout called by the Thoroughbreds. And see if it's a 30 or a full. It's going to be full, so we'll take it as well. 49 seconds left to go. Your score now, LCA 66, Harrison County 63. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC.
Cattle sale.
Alrighty, back here at the hilltop, down by 3. Harrison County has the ball with 49 seconds left to go in our first overtime. Harris with the basketball comes across the timeline on the near side. Gets it to the elbow to Wilson, to the far side to Smiley for 3, and a tie, in and out. Rebound, fought for, Custard has it, goes back up, misses it, and King will come down with the ensuing rebound. Harrison County with a lid on that basket. With the basketball now, a steal by Harris. Loose ball on the floor being chased after, and it's going to be picked up over in the far corner by Preston. Timeout called by LCA. We just couldn't get our hands on that basketball. 25 seconds left in overtime. Your score, LCA 66, Harrison County 63. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN. Alrighty, out of the timeout, LCA will have the basketball, leading by 3 with 25 seconds left. Look for Harrison County to foul instantly if they cannot steal the inbounds pass. Jay-Sean Lewis back on the floor for Harrison County as well. Inbounding the ball will be Preston. Preston gets it to Spillman. Spillman back to Preston. Preston into the front court to Harge. Harge is going to be fouled by Caden Custard. And with 19 seconds left, Harge will be going to the line. This will be Harge's second trip to the line tonight. He's 0 for 1. Has a dozen points. First free throw by the senior to make it a 2-possession ball game is no good. Back in the game, Craycraft returns for the Thoroughbreds, replacing Lewis as Coach Brooks doing some situational substituting. Second free throw attempt coming up for Harge. It's on the way, and this one is good for his 13th point. Puts his team up 67-63. Into the front court, quickly come the Breds. In the corner, Smiley for 3, good! Another Canuck ball three-pointer by Mason Smiley. Gets Harrison County back to within 1 at 67-66. Timeout, we'll take it as well. 11 seconds left to go, your score. LCA 67, Harrison County 66. You're listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WC1. Here we go. Inbounding the ball will be Preston. He'll get it in the hands of Howard and back to Preston, who's going to be fouled by Jay-Sean Lewis. It'll be Lewis's first, so we'll walk the other way and shoot a couple of free throws. Now with 10.2 seconds left, that's a lot of time. And even if Preston makes both these free throws, it's still just a one-possession game. This will be Preston's first trip to the line tonight on the year, a 79% free throw shooter. The junior has 11 points, 2 below his season's average. First free throw bounces in. Looked like it was thinking about coming back out, but it didn't. Makes the score 68-66. With a second free throw upcoming. Second free throw for Preston is also good. Harrison County down by 3. Up the floor quickly comes Custard from the top of the key. A 3 for the tie. No. Rebound pulled down by Custard. Back outside to Harris. His 3 is going to be bouncing high off the iron. No good. And that will be the ball game. Breds had a couple of good looks there at the end, but the ball just would not fall. So Harrison County, for the 3rd time this season, loses in overtime. Tough loss. But all you have to do is take a look at the turnovers. Harrison County turned the ball over 25 times tonight to compare just 12 for LCA, and that's what made all the difference. We invite you to join us now for our post-game show. We'll go over all the scoring and stats from this game, as well as name our Judy Construction Company player of the game. We'll also have a chat with a member of the Harrison County coaching staff to get their thoughts on tonight's game as well. But once again, from here on the Hilltop, your final score in overtime. LCA 69, Harrison County 66. You've been listening to Thoroughbred Basketball on WCYN.